Hey guys, welcome to another exciting conversation. Black Business Month, the conversation series continues, and I'm AV. I'm invited to sit in the host seat today, and I'm excited because we're going to talk about real estate. We're going to have a great conversation today and ask the questions, of course, that are pertinent to what we're doing. I was always told as a young person, he who owns the land is the man. So we doing everything to put ourselves in position to make sure not only we can sell some land, but we can buy some land as well. And if you're looking to step into this wonderful career, we got to bring the experts to you. And today I'm excited to have with me Texas real estate king, the one and only Mr. Larry W. Brooks is joining me. Black Business Month conversation. My brother, welcome, man.
Hey, first AV, man, thank you so much and the station for allowing me to come on and just talk about the real estate industry, what it has done for our culture, the things that we can look forward to taking place with it when it comes to our culture, and just honestly, you all just honoring Black businesses throughout this entire month. So it is most definitely appreciated, and thank you for from the kindness of my heart.
Now, thank you for joining us and sharing your wisdom, because growing up, Larry, I can't lie, this is something I wish that they would have taught us, to help us along the path and understanding real estate and how valuable and not only instrumental, but how financial empowering it is for our lives. So to have brothers like yourself, I love the t-shirt Pure Hustle that you have on, because that's what it's about, man. Walking in your purpose and doing what God has assigned for you to do. And my sisters, Misha and Tasha, are taking classes right now that they're getting their real estate license, because they say, hey, I got to make a career shift and get into this. So tell us a little bit as we get started, Larry, about your business.
Yeah, so just a little bit about mine. I've been in the real estate space, or been a realtor for the last 21 years. And so I'm a broker of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, one of the largest independent Black-owned brokerage firms in Texas. Just excited that myself and my business partner, Michael, we've done 12 years together. We'll be going into our 13th year at the end. And just really, I've had an opportunity to just watch the industry of real estate change. When I first got into the industry, the average age of a realtor was 58 years old. Caucasian, and it was a second career for them. I've been in real estate right after I left college, got into the industry, and it's been the only job and career that I've had since my college days.
Yeah, what sparked your interest in the industry? What was it about the real estate industry that caught your attention?
Great question, because much like yourself, I didn't hear about it as a kid growing up. We didn't have them on career. Realtors didn't come in our classroom on career day and say, be this. So I got lucky because I had my best friend growing up. His wife, his sister, ended up marrying a guy that was a mortgage broker. So during a winter term, coming down in the middle of school, they allowed me to do processing work during winter terms. And so they gave me a part-time job. And I was one day we were there, and he had realtors come in, because mortgage brokers get their business from realtors in most cases. So he was taking the realtors out for lunch. And I'm like, man, who are all these sharp dressed Black people driving all these nice cars? What do they do? And he expressed to me what they were doing. He was taking care of them and treating them like kings and queens. And I just fell in love with it, man, and got into the mortgage side first. And then right after I graduated college, jumped into the realtor side of it.
Yeah, and it's an amazing thing. Of course, Larry Brooks, the real estate king, is with me as we continue our Black Business Month conversation series. Now, I know when we step out into, doing it from an entrepreneur standpoint and stepping out to it, into this industry on your own, what were some of the biggest challenges? Because sometimes if you're looking from an outside perspective like mine, we figure like it's an overnight success for you guys, and you all of a sudden started balling out of control. But what were some of the biggest challenges in your personal development and growth?
Man, mine, I'll say it very honestly, it was the youth. I was youth, and the thing is, I was a 22-year-old African-American male in an industry that was one of the largest purchases that people will make in their life, is usually their home and a car. That's most of the time when they see it. And then so at that time, it was not as culture friendly. Like it was, for me, the hardest challenge was finding a way to get business. So in the beginning, most of my business were people that were my age, right? So like I didn't have a lot of family members that owned houses, owned real estate. And so the biggest challenge was having people trust me. They're like, how am I going to trust this young African-American kid? You don't come from real estate. How do you know this, right? So mine was being consistent and finding a way to get these people that didn't look like me to trust me to make this money for them or do this business with them.
Yeah, because as you said that, Larry, it made me think about my grandparents were right up the street in Brenham, Texas, was about an hour outside of Houston, and they had this house on this big old field. Then when mom and dad and my aunts and everybody else moved to Houston, they moved into the houses, but you just had the front and the backyard. That was it. So we go from acres to this small space. So like you said, it was never really taught to us. And then here we are trying to sell it and people looking at you like, what? So, so what are some of the other issues in the industry today that you face, especially when it comes to being a realtor and real estate?
You know, today we've had an opportunity, and I tell people this all the time. Today has changed a little bit since 20 years ago when I first got into it. Because I would go into a room 20 years ago, it'd be 400 realtors and 4 Black people, maybe 4. Wow. And so, you know, my vision of starting Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm was that I wanted to teach and coach more realtors that look like me, that this is a space that we can get in and be very successful. Now, we've grown to where we have over 70 realtors on our realtors, and then an additional 30 affiliates that are part of our organization. But today's challenges is what I always tell people, that now that there's more of us in here, we have more of us that are preaching the gospel of real estate and home ownership, right? Yeah. So now that we got more people that look like us, we can touch more people. So terms like regentification are not as bad, because now our culture is in a place that where we can financially afford some of these places that are now regentrifying and now purchasing it ourselves. So those are some of the things that have changed in this recent market that we're currently looking at.
And I'm glad that you said that. We're talking real estate today, of course, with the real estate king, Larry Brooks, as Black Business Month continues. I'm AV, and we always talk about losing the hood to regentification. We always talk about our communities changing. But as you said, if we want to see the change, go back and buy it. We can build it up. We can develop it the way that we feel that it should be in 2022. If we do the things like you said, just put it into practice, and we've got to be in position and power to do so. So what advice would you give someone who's looking to start a business in your industry?
Yeah, man. You know, the thing is the one secret to this industry is consistency, right? Okay. You know, real estate is a trust-based business. They want to do business with people that they trust and that they can see that you're doing it on a consistent basis. So if you want to get into this space, do not get in this space feeling like it's going to be fly by night, that you're going to go out and you're going to get a multi-million-dollar deal and close it and have the Bentley and all these cars.
I need it, Larry. I need it.
Right? Is it possible? It is, but you got to be consistent in this industry, right? People have got to be able to trust you. And the best way to do that is to show up, study the industry, know what you're talking about, and be visible and put money back into your community when doing so. That's really the secret sauce that I've ever seen in my success, is just putting money back into the communities that allow me to do business with them.
Yeah, definitely got us. So what does success look like for you? Meaning, like, any given month, how do you know you are doing well revenue wise? How do you know, as you said, because you're not going to come in today and tomorrow get a Bentley, you know? So what are the markers for you?
That's a great question. And so what I would like to say, because I've been in the industry a little longer than most. And so for me, success is not having to worry about the bills being paid. You know, last year, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm opened up 2 new offices. So we have our corporate office that's near the Reliance Stadium. We have an office on the north side and one on the west side. So for us, we've been able to put together a business model of real estate to where we're going to consistently close transactions with our teaching and coaching system. So for us, the dollar amount is making sure that my agents are allowing the company to close anywhere from 25 to 50 transactions a month. So that's the teaching and coaching that we put. And with that, once you get in, you closing consistent business, you don't worry about where the check gonna come from, because it's there if you're doing right by people. And so our business model is doing right by people, and we're comfortable. I mean, when we're going through the pandemic, you know, my check was consistent. I wasn't worried about, you know, the doors closing or deals busting out. It's been consistent.
So my question is, you talked about it, not only having the motto. So how do you successfully market yourself, and how do you go about doing that, getting the word out about your business as well?
Great question. So, you know, one of the things that I do is I'm a social media guy, right? So I get on Instagram and I'm gonna do my 3 posts a day. I'm gonna give something inspirational. I'm gonna share a story about myself, and then I'm going to tell people what are going on in the industry. And so for me, I started this 20 years ago. I created a newsletter through a software called Custom Contact years ago. And every month I've consistently sent that newsletter out. I don't care what's going on in the industry, but for the last 20 plus years, someone gets that newsletter. They can never open it up, or the one time when they needed to be there, it's going to be there. And I'll give you an example. One time I spoke at a Delta a Delta Sigma Theta event. This one lady, hadn't spoken with her in 4 years. She said, Larry, I've always gotten your emails. They've been consistent, never had a reason to open it. My mom passed away. We have about 4 pieces of property that I need to liquidate because I'm not going to take care of it. Do you mind helping me? Yes, I don't mind at all. But the consistency of that newsletter, her always seeing me in this industry, in this line of work, is allowed her to reach out to me.
Yeah, but like you said, man, the key word, consistency. Like people know what they get from you on a daily basis. I like how you said, I'm able to post 3 things, 3 different angles that I'm going at. But everybody who comes to Texas Real Estate King, they notice that these are the 3 things I'm going to get. These are the areas. So when I'm looking for that need to be met in those areas, I can come to you and get that information for you. So what does a typical day look like for the Real Estate King?
So for me, it's so funny because when I talk about it, I really want to get a blueprint of what it looks like to be a successful realtor, right? Yeah. And so for me, my day is an early morning day. I always believe the early bird gets the worm. So I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning. The first thing that I'm doing in the morning is I'm doing my gratitude. So I'm doing my prayers, my gratitude. I am 6 o'clock. I'm in the gym because I believe in making sure I take care of God's temple, which He's given me, to make sure that if this body is healthy, then I can go out and pour into other people and give them the successes that I've received. So that's the first part of my day. Second part of my day, about 7 o'clock, I'll get to the office. I'll read a little bit. Usually I'll read a little bit of what's going on in my industry, just so that I'm more up to date on everything that ESPN and not ESPN, but CNN done told everybody throughout the night. So I'm up to date on that. After that, me and my business partner have meetings. So I'm knowing what's going on with the company, knowing how it is that we can teach and coach our agents. And usually I'm on coaching calls after that, just kind of pointing to the agents, if they're doing showings, if they need help with open houses, if they need a better understanding on why a particular property or client is not seeing the vision. And I'm teaching and coaching them how to do that.
Yeah. So like somebody who wants to get started in your industry, what do you say is step 1? How do we get started? Because, people in this day and age, they want everything fast.
Yeah.
Want to jump into it. But what do I get started? What's step 1?
Step 1 would be, don't believe everything that you see on HGTV. Let me say that out there. Let me give you that. Let's not believe everything we see on there. But the second thing we want to do is we want to find a real estate school that meets our needs, right? So you may be a person that needs to go. You may have a part-time job, so you may need to do yours online and at a self-pace. Now, if you are able, you're in between jobs, I say take one at a school like Champion School of Real Estate. I've always appreciated them. I always go up there and teach and coach the agents in that, up there and speak to them. So you can physically take it in the classroom. You can gain more knowledge with the questions of you and your peers at that time. So it's usually about 6 to 7 classes that you got to take. So you got to start there. And then immediately after that, once you dedicated yourself and figured you're going to get into this, start interviewing with brokerage firms. I'd love an opportunity to interview with you, but most definitely start interviewing with brokerage firms. And it's kind of like picking a good church home, right? You want to go in and talk to somebody and figure out if y'all like-minded, if they have the teachings and the nurturing that you need in order to be successful, or if you want to be a part of a mega brand and all you need to do is just plug and play. So you need to, that's how you would typically get started in this industry.
I love it. We're talking about the real estate industry with the Texas Real Estate King, my brother Larry Brooks. I appreciate you, man, coming on with us. And would there be anything you would do, Larry, differently now than when you first started? Because I know it was different, as you said. You were in the minority now. Now we're seeing a big impact among our African-American brothers and sisters. I know things have changed.
Man, I think that what I would have done differently, I probably would have spent more money in the beginning of my career going to conferences. I do it now. I did it when I got midstream through it, right? When I was like, okay, I was hitting a ceiling of success. And so then I started to go. I think now, if I was a younger, newer agent, I'm going to conferences immediately because you'll pick up different tricks of the trade from someone in California, someone that lives in Nevada, versus sometimes in our immediate circle. If it's not our brokerage firm, people don't really share the secrets that can allow me to expand quicker. So I think I would put more money into mentorship, and I would spend more money with going to conferences and really building my understanding of the industry so that I could speed up the process of my success.
Yeah, well, man, thank you for sharing the fruits from your tree, and God used you as a pioneer and
yes,
you know had to go through some things and learn some things, but a lot of people are benefiting from you. So for everyone who wants to connect with you and of course learn more about you and connect with you online and social media, how can they follow and keep up with the Texas Real Estate King?
No doubt about it. First off, guys, again, thank you so much, AV, for allowing me to be a part of the show. For those of you that would like to know more about me, you can most definitely check out my website. It's LarryWBrooks.com. That'll show you other links of where you can find me. But I love posting on Instagram, so I'm always on Instagram, sharing as much I can, going live as often as I can. And I want you to also tune into a weekly podcast that I host with one of my realtors, one of my best friends, Ricardo Davis. It's called The Prime Real Estate Network on YouTube. And also it streams on other podcast centers too. So, but The Prime Real Estate Network, please like and subscribe, and I'll be there on a consistent basis.
Brooks and Davis. I like that, man.
Yes,
I like that title. You gotta send me one of them shirts too, bro. I gotta get that.
No doubt, man. You need this, man. I'm gonna get that address from you. Most definitely get you this, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Larry Brooks, man, thank you for being a part of the Black Business Month conversation. This has definitely been powerful. And as Larry said, be sure to follow him so you can get some more information. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen as we move in the future. Thank you for being a part of this conversation today, Larry.
Thank you. Thank you.